Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Money, Sex, and Kids. And you're probably wondering, where the heck am I? Because I'm not in my living room. I am in an even better, more beautiful living room. This is my friend Bre Anderson, and I thought I had to have her on the show. She is behind Be Inspiring, Be Real on Instagram. It is a beautiful page of all things gorgeous, from home to life to style, all the good stuff, right? But what I love about it is it's on a budget. So you're probably wondering, well, how does that fit in with Money, Sex, and Kids? It is transforming your home on a budget. And that's why I wanted her on, because you are full of so many wonderful ideas.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
You truly have transformed this home into a home, this house into a home, I should say. You and your husband live on a budget like so many of us out there, but you have an eye for style. You have that need and want for a home that looks like it came from a magazine, like all of us do.
Absolutely, yes.
But it's hard to do when you're when you're under a tight budget. So you figured out a way.
Yes, I did. I was determined to make that happen for us when we came here.
Okay, so you built this house and you started really just from scratch. You kept it as basic as possible to save money.
Yes, so we built the house 5 years ago, and you know, when you go in to build a home, they give you all these fantastic opportunities to upgrade, and it's $5,000 and $12,000, and the number just keeps raising, and you can't do that when you're on a budget. You have to make it livable, and it needs to be something that works for your budget. So we did the bare bones. We came in, and it was on a journey. It did not all happen in 1 year. It still is. I'm still working on other rooms in the home because it's a process, but
if you follow her, she always has a weekend project she's doing.
Yes.
There's always something. But today we're breaking down your top 5 do-it-yourself projects on a budget. And I want to start with the kitchen, because your kitchen is the center focal point of your home, but it's so eye-catching.
Yes. Thank you. So we needed to have something that was bright and airy, and I wanted to be able to do something, but I didn't want to break the budget.
Yeah.
When you go to Home Depot and you're looking at these beautiful tiles, I got a quote, and it was going to cost us almost $800. That was just for the materials and what we wanted.
And not for the work or labor.
And not just for the labor. And so I was like, we can do this ourselves. So I had tile put in, and it was just so dark, and I was like, I don't love this.
Yeah.
I don't love this.
Yeah.
And so luckily I saw some other information, and I was able to stencil it with paint.
So that backsplash looks like tile.
Yes.
Which it's tile underneath, but it's painted over.
Yes.
And it looks like a very expensive tile.
It does, yes. It was $125 for the entire backsplash, and we have a long kitchen.
Yeah.
It was time. It probably was about 4 to 6 hours,
okay,
you know, give or take. Now there's in between paint time, so you would have to do it in a weekend time frame. But $120, and it's amazing, and I love it.
Okay,
and it's perfect.
And sometimes those do-it-yourself projects from afar look fabulous, and up close you're like, oh no, this one is just as perfect and beautiful up close, and it lightens up the whole space.
Yes, absolutely.
Hardware. You said that's another great way.
Hardware is easy. A lot of times you can go to different stores and you can spend $4 on a knob, or you can buy them in bulk. Amazon's kind of my go-to spot for hardware, but you can buy the hardware that you like, and if you like the color, keep it. If you don't, spray paint it. Go to Home Depot and get a can of spray paint and spray paint it. Or if you have existing hardware that you like, but you don't like the color anymore, or the sheen or the finish, go to, you know, Hobby Lobby has spray paint.
Yeah.
Michael's, Home Depot, anywhere. Get it and spray it and put it on there.
And again, cheap, and it costs a little bit of time.
Yes.
Okay, speaking of paint, let's move to the light fixtures, because you have 2 beautiful chandeliers that cost you hardly anything, but paint transform them.
Yes. So I got chandeliers that were these brassy green. You know, they didn't look pretty, but I saw them and I knew I could paint them. So I brought them home. One cost $10, the other one was $20. And I transformed them with paint. And now they're a focal point in my home.
And that's the thing, is a light fixture, even if you're trying to do it on the cheap, like you're lucky if you can find one for $200.
Yeah. So Pottery Barn had the one I wanted, but it was $1,200.
Yeah, no. That's a house payment.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
And so it just wasn't in the budget. So I go out and I'll find ideas, and then I will create my own.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, another great idea and a way to really draw attention to a space is an accent wall, which for so many years we paint a wall a different color, but you took it a step further with your living room.
Yes. So walls can impact a space tremendously. So what I did was, I love black and white, I love plaid, and so I was like, I can put wallpaper up here.
Yeah.
So in the living room, we put wallpaper up. If you want to test your marriage, Andrea, put up wallpaper together.
Oh boy!
Oh my goodness, we made it.
You made it. So that means that you have a rock solid marriage that survives wallpaper installation.
It was intense.
I bet it was.
But the impact it made in our living room, it's the first thing when people come in now. Bre, oh my gosh, that wallpaper.
I mean, it is, and I've seen it. You'll have to, we're showing pictures of it right now,
Yes.
but on your page, you've got tons of different angles of this, and just
Yes.
the way you've made that space. We all have a TV in our living room.
Of course.
But this really makes it more about the space versus the TV. Where so often we look at a wall and we see a TV. We don't see that here.
Yep.
It's beautiful. And
Thank
then you
you.
had extra wallpaper. So many of us would roll it, put it in a cabinet somewhere.
Yep.
You continued that throughout the space.
I did. I actually built a faux fireplace to the left of the accent wall, and I used the excess from there. I also then had extra plywood, so I just put the wallpaper on the plywood, and I actually ended up selling them. I posted it online, and people were like, do you have any more of those? And I'm like, I sure do.
Oh my
Sold them, so I
gosh.
made back the money that I even spent on the wallpaper, and so it was free.
So about how much would wallpaper cost to do a wall
So
like that?
a wall like this probably would run you, I would say, about 100 to 120.
Okay. Oh, that's very doable.
Very doable.
Okay.
Absolutely.
If you didn't want to go the wallpaper route, shiplap
Yes.
is a great, and I know you have that in your bedroom.
I do.
Transform that wall with that.
Yes.
Is that hard?
No, it was actually very easy.
Okay.
They have so many tutorials that are out there that you can find, but they have real shiplap that you can absolutely buy, and they're tongue and groove, which makes it easier. And we priced that out. It was probably going to cost us around $375, or you can actually get plywood, have Home Depot cut it for you, and use nickels to space them out. And it costs $80 to do that wall.
Oh my.
And that's including all the supplies, yeah.
And then you said you can paint over that. You can do
can,
whatever
yeah.
you want really with the
Anything.
space. Hang something on
Yes.
it. Okay, so that's another way to transform that. Now, I love, as soon as you walk into your house to the left, you didn't put another dining room table in there. That is a space for gathering. I mean, you got to have a bar at your house.
Yes, it was a must here for us.
And that bar, you did yourself?
Yes, we actually built that industrial bar. So I saw one at Billard's. Normally people, spend $1,800 is what the bar cost at Billard's.
Okay, no.
And I saw it and I loved it, and I pondered about it for a little while, and I thought, okay, what the heck? What do I have to lose?
Yeah.
Let's see what we can do. So I went to Home Depot, saw the industrial piping, got the wood cut, came home, stained it, we put it up. It cost us $160 compared to $1,800.
So when you say, what do you have to lose? Okay, I mean, you have to learn how to do this. If you don't really know, do you just, I know the internet's a great source for everything free as far as like tutorials. Is that really what you turn to?
I can tell you that no one taught me how to do any of this, Andrea.
Okay.
My dad actually is extremely handy. And so I knew what a screwdriver was.
Yeah.
I knew what a drill was. But I can tell you that Shane didn't. He didn't know it all. And he would tell you this if he was here. He would say, I didn't know how to do any of those things. So we had to learn together, and it was an adventure, but I look up tutorials, I watch YouTube videos, I look on other people's Instagram pages to get inspired, and I see what they're doing, and I kind of just make my own process. But you have to try. You have to remove the fear, because the worst thing that could happen is it doesn't work out, and what did you lose? $100. Versus buying something and not really loving it, or buying something because it was on sale and then you settled, and then you don't really have what you love in your home anyways.
I love that. You got to remove the fear. And that's the thing is trends change and evolve so much.
All the time.
So you can afford to switch a lot of things out when you're doing it this way.
Absolutely.
Okay, entryway to a home is always very important.
Yes.
And you said the entry table, a must.
Yes.
Not only to have something there, a beautiful entry table, but you can do that on the cheap too.
You can. So I'm a fan of thrift stores and yard sales, estate sales. That's where I go to find a lot of my pieces. I am guilty of driving in the neighborhood, and if I see something on the side of the road, I may pick it up.
Hey! What is someone else's trash is your trash. That's all the truth, right?
Absolutely. So that entry table was huge because it was free. It was this waxy, gritty orange color. I came home, I sanded it, put some paint on top of it, stained the top of it, done.
And that's that. So the power of paint too, then, right?
Yes. Again, it goes back to that and being able to. You can buy sandpaper. You can buy an electric sander from Home Depot for $20.
Okay.
And you've got a new piece of
And
furniture.
that's what you said too. You said that if you go to Home Depot,
yes,
they will give you some of their scraps too,
yes.
won't they?
So Home Depot's amazing because they will cut the wood for you. So if you have the measurements, not everybody has a workshop. I've evolved into having a workshop out in my garage because I love DIY projects and it's how we live. But not everybody has that. So if you don't have the ability to have a workshop, you can go there. They will cut the wood for you. You just have to tell them the measurements. They will give you their free wood scraps. So my faux fireplace was scraps.
How much did that end up costing you?
$10.
People. And why do you want a real fireplace in Arizona anyway? You use it for 2 months
too
out of the
hot
year.
here.
Right?
Yes. Someone asked me recently, are you going to take that down after the winter? And I'm like, no, I could though if I didn't want to.
It's so
it was so easy to put up. So.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, so you can go to Home Depot and they can do a lot of that for you.
They have scrap wood. They also have $3 paints. I talk about this on my Instagram all the time.
Okay.
If you're somebody who you don't know what colors you're wanting or you're not really sure, because it's hard. When you are starting and you haven't done any of this, it can be challenging. Home Depot sells the $3 sample paints and you can get a long way with the $3 sample paints.
I love that.
Yes.
Okay. See, these are things that I would not have known. Now, what I love, and I want to talk about this really quick before we wrap up, is this is in you. I mean, you are creative, you love design, like God didn't really bless me with that gene. So I'm inspired for sure. Like there are some things I look and I'm like, I can do that, I can do that. But sometimes I don't have the eye for all of this. And that's what I like your story has evolved to, because there's a lot of people out there like me.
Yes.
But you're helping.
Yes, I am. So as I was, doing different things in my home, I had a lot of people reach out to me on Instagram or just friends of family or whatever it was. And they're like, can you come to my home and tell me? Because so many people like you, Andrea, they have fabulous taste, but they don't know how they can incorporate things or they don't know where to start or they don't like their home because it doesn't feel cozy to them. So I actually now have a side business and I help people decorate. So that's something that I'm doing right now, and I can do it on a budget. I can go in and we can tackle room by room to see what can we do here to make this space better for you.
Which I think a lot of people hesitate to reach out to a designer.
Yes, because it's so expensive.
It's so expensive, and so the fee to have them already trumps what they have. I mean, it's just, there's their budget right there. Yep. So for you to come in with that mentality, I think that you resonate a lot more with people out there that want to make their homes better and more cozy, but they want to still have a 401k because, one day they're going to retire.
Absolutely. Well, and I think too is, so many of my clients that I've worked with now, they're like, Bre, I never would have ever thought to do something on my own, but I show them. I bring them here and I have them make things with me that are going to go in their home. And there's something about making something that is yours. You become so much more proud of it.
So true.
And I love looking around my home because I created all of this. It's something that I created and it's here and it's home and it's fun and cozy and we love being in this space.
Well, your passion pours out, and I will make sure in the show description that you have the link to find her, especially if you're interested in having her help and having you come to their home. But if you just want straight up inspiration, this is your sister, and I'm helping you out with this one because it's all the things. And it's really great because I think you really show so much of your life and how this is real life. And so that resonates with a lot of people. So I appreciate you being so inspiring in that sense by putting that out there. Okay, so you can do this on a budget, and this is all Money Peach approved, which is a good thing in my book.
Yes.
So check her out. Again, Bre, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for
having me.
Appreciate it.